Disney's live-action remake of Tangled is taking fire, but not for the reasons you might believe. No, it's not because of bad writing. No, it's not because of the woke era of taking something and changing it. Rather, it's the opposite. The actors cast as Rapunzel and Flynn, too stale, too pale. And now those who favor another woke era resurrection are declaring it's all because of YouTubers, grifters, and angry thumbnails. It is a fabulous day, folks, every time we get to spend time with you. Thank you for being here from the Pro Channel. A huge amount of appreciation, an attitude of gratitude, if you will, every time you're here with us. Let's dive in today. We'll tell you what all the fuss is about, and it has to do with skin color, Tangled, and the fact that the actors look like the characters from the cartoon. All right, out of thatparkplace.com, the website that if you're not yet bookmarked, well, you should be. Marvin Montanaro has this one. Disney's Tangled casting suggests the studio may finally be learning from live-action misfires. That's right, folks. That's how you say this word. Learning, not leering. Disney's newly revealed Tangled casting may signal more than just another live-action remake. It may point to a quiet but meaningful recalibration after several costly missteps. Yeah, I can think of a few. Can you? Geeks and Gamers is posting this. Australian actress Tegan Croft has been cast as Rapunzel in the live-action adaptation of Disney's Tangled. An Aussie? Awesome. We'll take that. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Disney has cast her and also a fellow named Milo Manheim as Flynn Rider in its upcoming live-action adaptation of Tangled. Cool deal, right? And you know what? Little Lilo looked like little Lilo. Cool. What's Disney up to? Well, they're going back to what worked for them. But not everybody is pleased. Luis Fernando, a media commentator, says the course correction. The course correction. Get ready, folks. He's going to frame this. He's going to reframe this in a way that I don't think is accurate to reality. The course correction at Disney to avoid cultural wars and YouTube grifters using their movies as scapegoats remains in full steam, as Tegan Croft and Milo Manheim have officially been cast as Rapunzel and Flynn Rider in the live action of Tangled. Both actors visually very similar, the looks of their respective characters in the animation. I guess no angry thumbnails this time, right? Right. What is Luis trying to say here, folks? Luis is trying to say that YouTube grifters, as he calls them, probably our pals around here, he's trying to say that YouTubers have so much power. It's not that the audiences turned against this stuff. It's not that people stopped going to see the movies. No. Disney was not humbled by poor outcomes in theaters. Disney fumbled, you might even say, because of YouTube thumbnails. What world does this man live in? What kind of... Look at these people, okay? She looks like her. He looks like him. This is what you do. You want to do Princess and the Frog? Cool. Don't get a white girl to play the Princess and the Frog characters. Got that, okay? And then look at this down here. Rufai says, LOL, you underestimate their urge to complain. To be honest, they'll try their best to find something. Luis, who does not have that accent at all, says, the saddest part is that I know you might be right. Oh, thank goodness, Disney. You've been saved from belligerent thumbnails. Jonas, do we have this kind of sway? Is this what Disney is trying to avoid? Or is it something, I don't know, at a society level?
Oh, no, they definitely weren't talking about us. There's somebody else out there that they were talking about. You know what's funny is they were kind of admitting that there were other problems with these films and saying that we were just blaming it on the DEI or something like that. These are the whitest whites that they've had on a Disney live action remake for a while. So I'm thinking the people on the other side will be complaining about it because it's a religious thing for them. Right.
You have to recast, and you have to race swap, and you have to gender swap, and you have to swap.
Right. And so the mom, who knows what the mom will be, which will make it even more hilarious when she's like, I was adopted.
If Disney was going to completely course correct, they should have hired Sydney Sweeney to play the very white Rapunzel.
Can you imagine Sydney Sweeney's Rapunzel? My, oh my. Hey, one more thing though, Jonas, before we switch to Christian. Jonas, out of curiosity, how would they respond were this going the other way? if, let's say, you had white Zorro or you had Asian Tiana? Like, what would they think about that? Would they be okay? Would they? I'm assuming that Luis and his friends, they wouldn't make an angry thumbnail.
Well, Zorro has been traditionally a Spanish aristocrat, so I mean he is technically white, but yes, I see the point there. Usually they go for I mean Banderas I think was putting on a Mexican accent when he the Spanish Banderas.
I don't think they would like Alabama Bubba's Zorro.
Now that would be great. Hey, I'm just going to carve a little Z on your behind there, fella, and ride off on my four-wheeler. So yeah, this is all, they can only go in one direction on these things. They want the representation. They think the representation is important. It's just a genericized way of saying we kind of hate white people. We hate whatever we view as the standard culture. It's silliness, and it's kind of a pseudo religious view. It's kind of like a faith film, but in the other direction. They think that this is the most important thing, other than what really should be the most important thing is it an entertaining film? And honestly, if it was race-based casting and somehow people didn't notice, it would be more important that it's an entertaining film, because people will forgive that every day of the week. Cinderella with I almost said Moesha. What is her name?
Moana? Brandy. Okay.
Yeah, the Cinderella movie that I think was on probably Disney Channel, that I think it had Whitney Houston and Brandy in it. The chat will help.
I think they did. I think that got a theatrical release.
Either way, it's well loved, and everybody knew what it was, and it wasn't about virtue signaling. It was about talent, and it was about appealing to the audience. And if they wanted to do a retelling of, like, say, the founding of America, using a Puerto Rican playing Alexander Hamilton, people would be okay with it if it wasn't virtue signaling and the quality was there. This is just if they can get out of their own way, and unfortunately now they've done it so much that the cultural aspect is the thing people see first, because they see that race is so important, and now they're white people, so they're just staring at them like, well, how can you make Rapunzel white? You can't just make Rapunzel white.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing too, Christian. So I appreciate that Luis thinks that we have this kind of power. I would love to have that kind of power, that we can actually, move and shake Disney in that way. I know that we have some influence, but Christian, the job here on YouTube and in media, at least the new media, is that we look at what is interesting to the public, and then we try to frame it in the most realistic, accurate way possible. And then that's what allows you to rise up through, the attention of others to say, okay, I want to watch this because these guys know what they're talking about. But we don't usually, with rare exception, we don't usually have the power to force people's attention onto something. We look at what it is that is so outside the norm, and thus, like, this is a story to cover. So I don't think we actually have the ability through angry thumbnails to affect the market. I think Disney is responding with Tangled to, the iconography of these characters matters, and so we're going to make it look like the movie that was successful, and hopefully, therefore, the live action will be successful too. It's just that simple, Christian.
Yeah, listen, what YouTubers say, if it didn't reflect some truth, if it didn't have some sort of cachet, if it didn't kind of connect with the audience, then it wouldn't matter. We wouldn't get any views. That's one thing. Also, this whole argument about diversity and making sure that all voices are heard and all ethnicities are there. I'm actually sympathetic to that if it was 1982 or 72 or 62. But now you just look around the world and all you see are different faces and styles and shapes and colors and you name it. So we don't need to do this forced aggressive diversity, because the world already exists in a way. The diversity push is one, which is good, because then everyone has their opportunity. So you don't need to do that. You need to be faithful to the source material and be authentic to it. And what I've literally wrote the book on woke Hollywood. What I was always curious about is whenever they go in that diverse direction, whether it's a casting or something else, why does the talent, why does the storytelling almost always stumble along the way? It's fascinating to me, because couldn't they do that race swap and then just make a great movie? And more often than not, it's not the case. I don't quite know why that is, but it's fascinating and kind of consistent. And in the times where it's working out or seem to be the exceptions as opposed to the rule.
Now, when it comes to calling out woke Hollywood, you're exactly right. There's nobody better anywhere than Christian Toto. And folks, if you're not going to HollywoodandToto.com, well, you should be, because Christian wins the day. It's the best headline. I wish I had come up with this headline. Conan O'Brien almost calls out Colbert and Kimmel. That is the best way.
So close.
Best way of saying it. All right, well, folks, that's where we'll leave it when it comes to the casting of Tangled. But, man, you'd be amazed at how angry some people can get just for finding somebody pale skin these days. And, folks, let the credits roll for this one. Well, it is in the bank. We are done here. We're over and out. But before we go, there's one thing we must shout to you, and we do it in the kindest way possible. Folks, it would be such a pleasure if you could consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and that notification bell. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. You bet. Don't forget also, as you get ready to leave, drop a comment down below if you have not yet, for we would love to know what's on your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. Join a community dialogue. Folks, as we get ready to leave, we say to you, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and no matter what the world might do or what your station might be, up or down, you keep having fun.